Each week I have a really nice tomato harvest, a really nice one, and I have more tomatoes that I can use within a 2 or 3 week period before they go bad. So I can them, as you have seen in previous videos, and I also dry them. So these are from the last couple of weeks. Lots and lots of tomatoes in here. The way I dry these tomatoes is I simply cut them up. I cut them into cubes, and then I put them on these trays with organza to keep them from falling through the cracks as they dry. I just simply chop them up and I dry them, and then I put them in the jars. They taste very strong. Oh my goodness, each little tomato is just concentrated tomato flavor. And if in the summertime or in the spring when I don't have fresh tomatoes, it's not a problem for me. I will just throw a handful of chopped tomatoes into my salad and I still get the tomato flavor. So this is yet another harvest, one of many that I'm just going to cut up and dry. So I'm going to fill these trays, and then I'm going to show you how I dry them. All right, I have them all cut. And then of course, as you've seen, I've been saving the juice from the cutting board. And in that juice, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll show it to you in a minute. Hold on. 1 second. In that juice are all the tomato seeds. So I drink the juice and get all the goodness out of the juice, and I save the seeds for planting next year. So I have 4 trays. These 2 are stacked. I have 4 trays of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. You saw how many were in there. I'm going to dehydrate them now, and then when I finish dehydrating them, I will explain to you what I do with them. I have the tomatoes stacked in the dehydrator. I washed the seeds, or just gave them a general rinsing. The juice tasted delicious. And now I am putting the seeds up to dry. The nice thing about these dehydrators, which I absolutely love, is the fact that they do not have heat. It is just a fan. That's all it is. It's just a fan blowing cool air. So, let me get this turned on. And that's it. So I can even dry the seeds in here. Whereas before I had the seeds out on the counter and they were drying. It took hours and hours, sometimes days. And now I just put them in a dehydrator and they're ready for me. And if you take a look, so I have these seeds that were on the cutting board. Whoops. But you see there are also seeds in there. I can also take those seeds and plant those seeds in the following season. So there's an actual win, a real win to drying the tomatoes. While I'm at it, while the tomatoes are dehydrating, I also dry my peppers. Now, those are nice. They again, when they're out of season and I want a nice pepper flavor to a salad, I just sprinkle a few in. I can put them in sauces and they rehydrate so nicely. Or I can powder them and turn them into either red paprika or into a green paprika. So there are a lot of uses for these peppers when they're dry. So I'm just going to add these to the tomatoes so that they can dry at the same time. Of course, I have the seeds from the peppers, which I get to save and plant those next season as well. It's a really wonderful system. There you go. I'm drying the pepper seeds in the dehydrator as well. Look at these beautiful dried tomatoes. Look at that. And they're very flavorful. Concentrated tomato. Really delicious. As I said before, I am doing the tomatoes little bits at a time. So I have multiple small jars of them. Isn't that just lovely? Isn't that really beautiful? Ah, I love having these things around the house. I really do. Dried pepper has such a strong, strong green pepper scent. This is what it looks like. Oh, it is a lovely green pepper scent. So what do I do with these now that they're dried? Here, over here, we've got some dried red peppers that I dried yesterday. Well, you can add these to your salads. You can add these to sauces. You can dry them, you can grind them into a powder and then add hot water and have a tomato soup or a base for a tomato soup. The peppers, you can grind those into a powder and use them as spices. Red pepper specifically. I mean, what is paprika? Paprika is ground red pepper. So you can make a green paprika as well. There's so many things you can do with your dried vegetables. There's no reason for them to go to waste. And besides that, they're pretty on the shelf. Until next time.